This is historic. There has not been a crisis like this in 90 years. This scandal has been hiding in plain sight for 15 years.
He was the Queen's golden child. Everyone whispered it. While Charles stayed dutiful and William carried the future on his shoulders, Andrew was the one Elizabeth truly cherished. He fought in the Falklands War. He moved through life like he knew he was untouchable, and for decades, he was. But then, a powerful and controversial associate entered the picture, and the photographs, and the lawsuits, and a survivor's voice, which refused to be silenced. Even after her passing, the echoes didn't stop.
This morning at 8 o'clock, 6 vehicles turned up at Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate where Andrew's now living. Police vehicles, it turned out. It was fairly obvious for those who were there that that's what they were. One of the vehicles drove up the front drive. 5 of the vehicles went round the back. So it's a kind of police tactic where you appear at the front door but make sure there's not an opportunity for everyone to disappear out the back.
This morning, 6 unmarked police cars stormed a royal estate in England. The king had zero warning. Officers swooped in and took his brother into custody before mid-morning. The charge? It could carry a life sentence. Here's what went down this morning, because every shocking detail counts. Around 8 a.m., 6 unmarked police cars pulled up outside Wood Farm, a property on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. Sandringham, land owned by King Charles himself. Andrew had only just moved there after being pushed out of his longtime Windsor home. These weren't casual officers with a friendly knock. They were dressed in plain clothes, moving with a mission.
Why have the police spent 15 years choosing not to investigate Andrew? Because they probably knew. What did Charles know? What files are included at Buckingham Palace? We're literally in unprecedented territory, Megan. And just to give you a bit of color about what's happening today, because we really never thought we'd see anything like this. There are currently 2 teams of police on the King's estate, searching the King's property.
By mid-morning, Thames Valley Police dropped a statement. They confirmed a man in his 60s from Norfolk had been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, and searches were ongoing at 2 addresses, one in Norfolk, one in Berkshire. The Berkshire property? Royal Lodge, his massive Windsor estate where he lived over 20 years before being forced out. Both homes were being combed simultaneously. By law, the man can't be named yet, but this man is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, King Charles III's 66-year-old brother.
The man remains in police custody at this time. We will not be naming the arrested man. With me is Daniel Sanford, our home.
So that was they can't name him yet, but obviously the news has come forward and realized, this is what's happening.
And today, his birthday. Yeah, that detail hits hard. It's the kind that makes you drop your coffee. Here's the deal about a UK arrest, because this charge is being misread everywhere. Misconduct in public office is serious. It happens when a public official intentionally drops the ball or purposely breaks the public's trust. Key word, intentionally. This isn't about mistakes or mix-ups, it's about deliberate choices. And the max punishment? Life in prison, not 10 years. Life. The specific allegations sparking this arrest? While acting as the UK's official trade rep for international business, Andrew allegedly shared classified government papers with a controversial associate. From 2001 to 2011, he held a real government role, meeting world leaders, foreign business tycoons, and top officials in places like Singapore, Hong Kong, and Vietnam. And the reports he wrote? Not casual notes. They were official government records. These weren't just any papers. They were official government documents, written while Andrew was a public servant, packed with details about secret business deals and private conversations with foreign leaders.
Remember, in the United Kingdom, he runs the court. This is the King's court. And so the idea that his brother Andrew will be on trial, potentially, I accept he hasn't been charged yet, but we're heading that way and we can get to that. There are now 9 police investigations, Megan, underway into Andrew's links.
And according to leaked emails from January 20th, 2026, Andrew allegedly sent at least one of those reports straight to that same controversial associate. Stop for a second and think about that. A man officially representing the UK on global trips, holding sensitive government documents, allegedly passing them to a controversial associate with a criminal record. And Andrew knew this. Yet, the connection kept going. And according to the documents, sending official information continued alongside it. Thames Valley Police began investigating this claim earlier this month after Republic, the group campaigning against the monarchy, formally requested a criminal probe. They had been combing through the files meticulously ever since.
I've always thought Andrew was suspicious. It all started back with that interview back in the day where he just completely torpedoed his entire career, the way he answered those questions.
The Department of Justice released over 1 million documents in late January under the Government Transparency Act. Republic's leader Graham Smith told reporters this morning that their push likely helped accelerate the arrest. Make of that what you will, but the timing is explosive. Police acted within days, not weeks. 6 unmarked cars pulled up to a royal driveway. And here's the key about UK arrests, because it's widely misunderstood online. An arrest allows police to formally hold and question a suspect, search their homes, and secure evidence. Andrew was arrested and is being held, but no charges have been filed yet.
So in the path, are you saying that if Andrew calls Charles or needs Charles as a witness, like
Yes.
I told my brother the following,
Yes.
and he blessed this payment or he blessed that thing, even though he was just Prince Charles at the time,
Correct.
he wasn't yet king, that could drag him right into this legal proceeding and either kill the legal proceeding or kill Charles's reign as king.
Correct. Because no one really believes, Meghan, that Andrew is going to plead guilty. Why would he do that? I mean, he would get guaranteed jail time. I agree with you. It's not going to be life imprisonment. That is the maximum sentence for misconduct in public office. But I know the type of guy that Andrew is. He is not going to plead guilty.
That comes only after investigators build a case strong enough for court. Today is not a guilty verdict. It's the start of a formal legal process. But don't underestimate it. This is serious. Police don't send 6 cars to a royal estate and haul off the king's brother for nothing. The royal family acted fast and precise. Reports suggest the king had no warning the arrest was coming. Buckingham Palace hasn't confirmed this, but multiple news outlets are reporting it, and it matters. The fallout is already sending shockwaves across the UK and the world. Social media is ablaze, royal watchers are panicking, and newsrooms can barely keep up. The optics are explosive. This isn't just another headline, it's the kind of story that shakes institutions to their core. Inside Sandringham, sources say the atmosphere is tense. Staff are reportedly on edge, whispers are spreading, and even longtime aides are questioning how this could happen without warning the king.
And as I say,
What kind
who
of
has his hands
relationship
clean
do
is William.
Andrew and Charles have? How do these brothers get along?
Well, not great. Andrew has always been a bit of a buffoon, but the problem for Charles, Meghan, is that it was him who decided to bring Andrew back into the royal fold.
It's a royal family in crisis, and the timing couldn't be more dramatic. Andrew's birthday, a day meant for celebration, has now become the backdrop for scandal. And the legal implications are staggering. Misconduct in public office is not a casual allegation. It's one of the most serious charges in British law. The key is intent. This isn't about accidents, oversight, or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's about deliberate decisions that break the public trust. The fact that this allegedly involves sharing sensitive government papers with someone already convicted of legal offenses raises the stakes to a whole new level. Public reaction is intense. Some see it as long overdue accountability, proof that no one, even royalty, is above the law. Others defend Andrew, claiming these are old connections blown out of proportion. But the truth is, the evidence, the documents, the timing, the high-level meetings, it all paints a picture far too serious to ignore.
Whatever happened, enough has happened that they can't keep covering up for him. Andrew has messed up enough. There's too much out there, and rightfully so. Enough is enough. No one is too above the law, right? And if he is indeed guilty of actions, he should pay the consequence. And so the king, rightfully, I think now enough pressure is there. He can't go there and keep defending his brother. He now, I believe he has for some time, and people could judge that, but it's his family, et cetera, et cetera. But now that there's actually a case, there's actually charges. Yeah, the king's got to back off and say, good luck, bro. This is all on you now.
Meanwhile, legal experts are predicting a long, complex investigation. Lawyers will be combing over every email, every report, every meeting Andrew attended as a government representative. Each piece of evidence will be scrutinized in minute detail. This is the kind of case where years of reputation can crumble in a single morning. And don't forget the international angle. Andrew wasn't just a figurehead. He represented the UK abroad. Meetings in Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and other high-stakes locations are now under intense scrutiny. Any document shared improperly could have global consequences. The world is watching, and every move will be dissected. Today is just the beginning. What started as whispers about a royal favorite has exploded into a storm that could shake the monarchy forever. Keep your eyes glued, because in the coming weeks, this story will only get more intense, more scandalous, and far more shocking than anyone could imagine. If this is true, it would mean the police deliberately kept the palace in the dark, a calculated, high-stakes move. That's standard procedure when you're arresting someone connected to the very institution you're trying to protect. You don't tip off a suspect's family before the arrest. It's too risky.
But this must be an extraordinary experience for a man, who is the king's brother, spent his entire life, people bowing and scraping to him. He's still eighth in line to the throne. So suddenly, he's had his collar felt.
When the news broke, King Charles issued a statement from Buckingham Palace. He said he had learned of the arrest with the deepest concern, then dropped the line everyone is quoting. "Let me state clearly, the law must take its course." He promised full royal support for the investigation, but would not comment further while it is active. Then came a sentence loaded with meaning. His family would continue their duty and service. That's palace speak for drawing a hard line. Andrew is officially off their hands. The office of William and Kate confirmed that the Prince and Princess of Wales fully backed the King's statement. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla was spotted at a public event in London this morning, carrying on as usual. The message? The royal family moves forward. Andrew is alone. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer kept it short and sharp. Nobody is above the law. He also left the door open for Parliament to debate Andrew's connections to a controversial associate. That line is huge. If lawmakers want answers, they can dig deeper. And with MPs already watching, this could spark hearings, debates, and public pressure unlike anything the monarchy has seen in decades.
So there are a whole load of machinations going on, and the one person and the one couple whose hands are completely clean in this scandal, Meghan, are Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales.
Across the Atlantic, American politicians are paying close attention too. Earlier this month, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said he would be open to Andrew testifying before Congress as part of ongoing investigations into the network of that controversial associate. Interest in those connections, and what they mean, hasn't faded. The DOJ files are still being combed through, and now Andrew is on the radar of both British police and American lawmakers. This story has officially gone international, and every move will be dissected by governments, media, and the public. But one thing cuts through all the statements, the politics, and the legal jargon: the survivor at the center of the story. She spent years saying she had been exploited by a controversial associate involving Andrew when she was just 17. She filed a civil lawsuit, told her story in interviews, court papers, and public statements at enormous personal cost. In 2022, Andrew settled that lawsuit for what British media reported as around $16 million, without ever admitting wrongdoing.
I just want to paint you the scenario that Andrew ends up in the King's court, in his brother's court. Remember, there's only one person in the United Kingdom who can't be charged with a crime. That is the King. And he says, well, my brother knew about this, and my brother paid £1.5 million in hush money to Virginia Giuffre, which is what was reported last week by the Sun newspaper, my former newspaper. It feels untenable that Charles can stay on the throne.
That settlement, that story, and the ongoing fallout is what fuels the scandal that has gripped the world today. Every headline, every statement, every unmarked police car, this saga is far from over. The arrest has sent shockwaves not just through the UK, but across the globe. Royal watchers are scrambling, journalists are racing to get every detail, and social media is buzzing nonstop. Andrew's name is trending everywhere, and the story isn't just about a single arrest, it's about power, privilege, and secrets that were never meant to see the light of day. Inside Sandringham, sources say the atmosphere is tense. Staff are reportedly whispering in corners, security is on high alert, and even longtime aides are questioning how the police could move so fast without giving the king a heads up. Andrew's birthday, a day meant for celebration, has instead become the backdrop for one of the most explosive scandals in modern royal history.
He has been saying for 7 years after that car crash Newsnight interview with the BBC, where Andrew made a fool of himself, and by the way, told a tissue of lies. I mean, almost as many lies as Harry and Meghan told to Oprah Winfrey, right? Like, we know that now. And Andrew 7 years ago, William 7 years ago said, Andrew's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to be banished, just like just like Harry and Meghan have to be banished.
And while the monarchy publicly continues its duties, the contrast couldn't be starker. King Charles, William, Kate, and Queen Camilla are carrying on with public events and official appearances, but Andrew is now on his own. No palace protection, no insider advantage. Every move he makes will be under scrutiny. Meanwhile, the legal stakes are monumental. Misconduct in public office is not just a slap on the wrist, it carries life imprisonment for deliberate betrayal of public trust. The allegations that Andrew shared sensitive government papers with a controversial associate only make the case more incendiary. Every email, every report, every meeting from his time as the UK's trade representative abroad is now under the microscope. And the international angle is impossible to ignore. US lawmakers are watching closely, the DOJ files are still being sifted, and Andrew is now firmly on the radar of global authorities. What started as whispers about a royal favorite has exploded into a storm that spans continents, making it clear. This isn't just a British scandal, this is a worldwide spectacle.
So you'll remember the relationship between the late Queen and Andrew was really close, right? She viewed him as
She loved him.
Yep, she adored him. She never believed these allegations. I spoke to people very close to the late Queen who insisted to me the late Queen always believed that Andrew was innocent. However, the big problem for Charles is that the Queen, despite feeling that way, had completely banished Andrew from public life. She had stripped him of his titles, stripped him of his royal duties. But it was the King who made this unfathomable decision to bring him back into the fold.
The woman whose testimony triggered the investigation had hoped to finally move on with her life. She deserved that peace. Tragically, she passed away in 2025. But even after that, her voice continued to be heard through her words and legal efforts. Her memoir, written before she passed, was published, and the records she fought for over years of legal battles helped push those explosive emails into public view, shining light on decades of secrets and connections. This morning, a survivor's at the center of the case, siblings released a statement that hit hard. At last. Today, our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. On behalf of our sister, we extend our gratitude to Thames Valley Police for their investigation and the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. They added a line that cuts deep. He was never a prince for survivors everywhere. She did this for you. The survivor had already settled her civil lawsuit. She had already shared her story more times than anyone should ever have to. Yet the work she did in life is directly what put those 6 unmarked police cars outside that royal estate this morning. A moment worth pausing on. Every document she fought to make public, every legal battle she endured, is now fueling an investigation that spans countries. So where does this story go from here? Andrew is being held while the investigation continues. Misconduct in public office cases take time. Police will meticulously review the papers seized from both properties, building a full picture of the evidence before lawyers decide whether to file formal charges.
Now, the King has responded. King had broke his silence after the arrest. We have the official statement here. I have learned with deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which the issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. This is about his brother he's writing. This is a tough spot the King is in. And he's been in a tough spot due to his brother's shenanigans for quite some time. And there have been rumors that the Queen was helping to sort of make this go away as well.
His legal team has not commented publicly, and the palace will not make further statements. Courts will move at their own pace, but the weight of the scrutiny will not lighten. What's certain is this isn't going away. The DOJ's transparency files still hold over 1 million documents. Reporters, lawyers, and analysts on both sides of the Atlantic are combing through them. Hidden names, emails, and messages have yet to surface. Andrew's arrest today is the biggest moment in this saga since prior high-profile convictions, but it's far from the last chapter. For years, critics argued that the royal family would always protect its own, building a wall of wealth, influence, and history around anyone inside, no matter what they had done. Today, that wall just got a massive crack, and the world is watching every move. A statement released here, a title quietly stripped there, a settlement paid without any admission of guilt, handling the image, managing the optics, but never reaching real accountability. For decades, this story simmered behind closed doors, whispers in the palace halls, secrets hidden from the public eye. And yet today, everything changed. This morning, 6 unmarked police cars drove up to the estate, and somebody finally opened the gate. The cracks in the wall of privilege and power are now visible for the world to see. If you want to go deeper into what the DOJ files revealed, which other powerful names are still being investigated, and how this scandal could ripple across the globe, that video is on screen right now. Every email, every meeting, every document paints a fuller picture of the influence, connections, and decisions that have remained hidden for years. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share what you think about today's shocking developments, and keep the discussion alive, because the world of crowns, power, and scandal is far from quiet. Most importantly, subscribe to Crown Clash, where every single day I bring you a brand new video breaking down the latest in royal news, shocking revelations, and controversies you won't hear anywhere else. Be here when the next chapter drops, because this story is moving fast and we will cover every update as it comes.